It's the champ, Shannon the Cannon, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. And you're watching Sports Icons. Subscribe. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Champ.
So it's fight week for KSI versus Logan Paul. Part 2, the rematch at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Now, of course, these guys, this will be their first professional fight, if you really want to call it a professional, where they're going to be wearing smaller gloves and no headgear. In other words, one big punch and there's a very good chance one of these guys is going to get knocked smooth out. Now, automatically, I know that there's going to be a lot of people very, very anti this fight. There's going to be a lot of people, in fact, probably going to be more people, very pro for this fight due to the profile of both these guys. These guys have huge, huge followings on their social media, including YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, etc. So these guys are going to be earning a hell of a lot of money. A hell of a lot of money. So any YouTuber out there who says this is an absolute disgrace, they shouldn't be doing this, well, you'd do it, wouldn't you? I would. I mean, who wouldn't? Even for charity. Although I do feel that for most people who do it for charity, it is more about trying to put their own name out there. Well, unless, of course, they're a massive platform. I mean, if KSI and Logan Paul did it for charity, then that'd be different. But I think that for a lot of them, for like smaller channels who want to go in on KSI and Logan Paul for doing what it is that they do, well, you'd probably do the same, would you not? If you're going to be earning a crap load of money, you'd do it too. Do it for charity, again, you'd do it too, right? So again, don't be critical. Don't be two-faced about it. Just be honest about it. Now, how's this fight going to go? For me, it's going to be a case of early knockout or a very, very boring fight. Now, for those of you who have DAZN, of course, that's going to be part of your package, whether it be your monthly $20 one or $100 for an entire year. For those of us here in the UK, it's going to be on Sky Sports Boxoffice at half the price, okay? It's going to be $9.95 or a tenner, which is half the price of a normal pay-per-view. And rightfully so, right? Or wrongfully so, maybe it shouldn't even be pay-per-view. But ultimately, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you're really anti this show, then don't watch it. It's very, very simple, isn't it? If you do want to watch it, and if you are interested, then pay a tenner. Very simple, isn't it? Now, this fight, as I said, it's going to be a spectacular knockout, or it's going to be very, very boring. And reasons being, no head guards, smaller gloves. So if these guys fight each other like they did in the first fight, then one of these guys is going to get knocked out, and don't be surprised if it's going to be a first-round knockout. Honestly, that's how it's going to be. But that's what I don't think is going to happen. What I do think is going to happen is it's going to be quite a boring fight, because both of these guys are going to be quite nervous of the other one landing. It's going to be a case of almost a jab fest. Stay away, leaning backwards, sticking your left arm out. It's going to be like a kids on the playground where they're kind of like egging each other on to fight, but they're just kind of like stepping forward and then stepping back and stepping forward without actually throwing anything. That's what I think is going to happen. And then as the fight goes on, I'm presuming it's a 6 rounder, right? It ain't going to get to 6 rounds, because I know that a lot of people are saying Logan Paul, he tired out as the fight went on, the first one. Yeah, because he had bigger gloves coming at him and he had a headgear on. So not too much chance of him getting knocked out. Well, there's always a chance, of course there is. But without it, he's going to get knocked out. If a KSI lands on him, he's going to get knocked out. And therefore, I don't see him tiring down the stretch, because he's not going to be putting everything into it in the first couple of rounds. If he does, there's a very good chance him or KSI is going to get knocked out. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Because neither of these guys are going to be able to take the shot, in my opinion, unless both of these guys are pillow-fisted, which I don't think that they are. And I would probably, just by looking at them, without really knowing too much about them, I would probably say Logan Paul probably hits a lot harder. And I think that Logan Paul will probably or maybe going to be a bit more braver in this one as well. Because don't forget, he's got Shannon Briggs in his corner. Shannon Briggs is an aggressive fighter. Very, very good body puncher as well. Whereas you've got KSI, he's trained by Vidal Riley. Riley, he's only had 3 professional fights, and 2 of those were against debutants. Now, I don't know too much about Riley's amateur career. Maybe he's an outstanding amateur. I have no idea. But of course, KSI, he has been spending some time in the Mayweather gym, much like he did with the first fight as well. So for me, that's probably the wrong place for him to be training. Because what do? The shoulder roll. Hit, don't be hit. Very, very defensive. Not all of them, of course. They do have some aggressive fighters, but I do feel that in this kind of fight, where it's going to be a case of throw caution to the wind, then this is the wrong place for him to be. And all the pros are in the corner of Logan Paul, with the fact that he's got an aggressive coach, with the fact that he's the bigger guy, with the fact that he's going to have the longer reach, with the fact that he's going to be stronger, he's going to be more powerful. So, in my opinion, I believe the fight is going to go. Listen, I would love KSI to do the job. Of course, he's British. I don't have an issue with Logan Paul, not at all. And more power to both these young guys for getting in there and actually doing it. But for me, I think that if it's going to be a trade-off, it's going to be a Logan Paul victory. If it does go the distance, then there's a very good chance that KSI could get the win if he can jab and move. I don't think he's going to be able to hit Logan Paul like he was in the first fight, take over in the second half. I don't see it going that way. Because anybody who's ever put gloves on and you get inside that ring and you get hit in the face, it is not a good experience. Honestly, it's not. I mean, people talk about how it's fun and, yeah, I'll get in there and have a spar. Don't you realise what's coming at you? When you've got headgear on, that's one thing. When you're getting punched straight in the face without the headgear, it hurts. It does actually hurt. So these guys are going to quickly realise on the night, because these guys are not going to pull punches, not at all. These guys, the first round might be quite cautious. If they do come out of the second round, then these guys, one of these are going to be throwing haymakers. Okay, it ain't going to be no technical fight. It ain't going to be that. It's not going to be no boxing masterclass. It's going to be a case of one of these guys is going to go swinging and he's going to hit the other one, and the other one's going to be like, I'm out of here, and take a knee, quit, or just get knocked smooth out. But unfortunately for the loser, due to the size of their platform, they're going to be getting a lot of abuse from the opposition. They're probably going to lose a lot of subs. Ultimately, they could gain a whole crap load of subs. I don't know. But for me, I feel that it's either going to be a very, very early knockout, as in a round 1, potentially round 2 knockout victory for one of these guys, or it's going to be a very, very boring points fight. That's how I see it. But ultimately, for me, if I do end up watching it, of course, I've got to get permission off the wife, of course, as always, then I'm probably only really watching it for Billy Joe Saunders and Devin Haney in that. That's pretty much what I'll be watching it for. But it is half the price of a regular pay-per-view. And I'm not going to criticise the fact that these guys doing it. Is it disrespectful to boxing? Well, not really. These guys are earning a lot of money. Now, I know that Eddie Hearn and others are spinning with a narrative of, well, this is going to potentially draw a lot of young people who are not currently interested in boxing too much into boxing. Well, they tried that whole spin with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, if you remember. Well, maybe some of the MMA fans will come over to boxing and vice versa. Well, it didn't really happen, did it? It's just a convenient spin. So for me, I couldn't care less about that. All I care about is the quality of the fights. That's all I care about. And I don't think this fight's going to be quality. It's going to be entertaining. So if I do buy the pay-per-view for a tenner, then I suppose I may as well watch it, mightn't I? But anyway, listen, that's entirely up to you guys. If you guys want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, don't. But for me, no point complaining about it, is there? Anyway, drop your thoughts below about it. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.